سبحانك كما ينبغي لجلال وجهك وعظيم سلطانك. نحمدك اللهم آناء الليل وأطراف النهار معترفين بسلطانك حامدين شاكرين لنعمائك. أدعو الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يديم علينا نعمه ظاهرة وباطنة، وأن يلهمنا العزم والعزيمة والصبر والثبات على أن نحمده على تلك النعمات. اللهم آمين. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له يحيي ويميت وهو حي لا يموت وهو على كل شيء قدير، شهادة قامت بها السماوات والأرض. أدعو الله سبحانه وتعالى ألا يحرمنا إياها لحظة لقائه. اللهم آمين. وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله وصفيه من خلقه وحبيبه، أدى الأمانة وبلغ الرسالة ونصح الأمة وكشف الأمة وتركنا على المحجة البيضاء ليلها كنهارها لا يزيغ عنها إلا هالك. اللهم اجزه عنا خير ما تجزي به مرسلا ونبيا. اللهم شفعه فينا شفاعة لا نعذب بعدها أبدا. اللهم اسقنا من حوضه شربة لا نظمأ بعدها أبدا. اللهم آمين. محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم طب القلوب ودواؤها وعافية الأبدان وشفاؤها ونور الأبصار وضياؤها. صلى عليك الله يا عالم الهدى ما هبت النسائم وما ناحت على الملك الحمائم. My dear respected brothers and sisters in Islam, seems to me that violence is almost everywhere. It is not only in the Islamic world, it is not only in the Arab world, it is not only in the Middle East. It is now all over. But what really draw the attentions of millions and millions of people, could be billions, I would say, to that tragedy that took place at Chapel Hill shooting at North Carolina is one of the latest, and it happened here in the United States of America. At 5:11 p.m. in Tuesday, February 10, gunshots between 5 to 10 here at Finley Forest Apartments, Summerwalk Circle, the neighborhood of condominiums and rental apartment, Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Police arrived after 2 9/11 calls reported the incidents. Outcome: 3 victims. Diya Shadi Barakat, 23-year-old. Yusr Abu Salha, his wife, 21-year-old. And Razan Abu Salha, 19, her sister, and the sister-in-law of Diya. They were found dead at the scene. Reports indicate that the victims had been shot execution style, with the suspect, Greg Stephen Hikes, 46-year-old, he turned himself in without incidents. to the county sheriff's office in nearby Pittsboro after the shooting. Wednesday morning, February 11, a judge ordered Heights to be held without bond and set March 4 as probable case hearing date. What the police said. They said that initial indications point to a dispute over parking as the cause of the murder. Are investigating suspects' computer and email for possible hate crime motivation. A dispute over a parking lot would lead to murdering 3 people, husband and wife, and a sister-in-law at once. Hate crime, act of terrorism. The media has been refraining from or reluctant to label it as an act of terrorism. But if it happens from a Muslim, even killing a cat or a dog, it's an act of terrorism. The double standard we have seen. Let me shed light on the victims first, in order to know who they are, what happened to them. Dia Shadi Barakat, 23-year-old doctoral student in his second year at University of North Carolina Chapel Hill School of Dentistry. Graduated from Broughton High School, Wake County Public School District. They are married Yusra Abu Salha on December 27, 2014. They just celebrated their first anniversary this past December. They are tweeted on January 28, 2015, January 28, 2015, about peace and tolerance. Peace and tolerance. Dia Barakat launched a website to raise funds to go to Turkey this summer to provide dental care to Syrian refugees there. 10 local dentists and faculty from University of North Carolina School of Dentistry were planning a trip to Rahania, Turkey, to provide dental care to Syrian refugees there. What his father said. There's father. He described his son as always smiling, and his son and daughter-in-law who met at North Carolina State as undergrads, bright, intelligent, thoughtful, generous, and loving. He's an American of Syrian descent, loved basketball. From Syrian descent. Maybe he escaped the war in Syria and the acts of terrorism in Syria to face his death and murder here in North Carolina in the United States of America. SubhanAllah. Yusra Abu Salha, the wife, 21-year-old, North Carolina State University student who had planned to join University of North Carolina Chapel Hill School of Dentistry in the fall. She's a sister of Razan Abu Salha, the third victim. She's a graduate of Athens Drive High School, Wake County Public School District. She immigrated from Jordan with her family at 6 months old and graduated from North Carolina State in December after studying biological sciences. Father, Dr. Muhammad Abu Salha, a psychiatrist. That's his professional background, helping people with mental illness. He said about her, she grew up to be courageous, outstanding young lady. She was planning to join her husband on a trip to Turkey this summer as well. Not to let her husband go by himself to provide dental care to refugees, Syrian refugees in refugee camps by herself, but she would go and join him. Razan Abu Salha, the sister of the wife, the sister-in-law, North Carolina State University student, Sufor, sister of Yusr Abu Salha and sister-in-law of Tia Barakat, graduated from Athens Drive High School, Wake County Public School District. She was visiting her sister and her brother-in-law, came from Raleigh, where she had recently made the Dean's List for the fall 2014 semester. She's a design major. Razan often blogged about photography and art. Hoped to join newlyweds in their trip to Turkey. These are the victims. 3 young, dedicated, beautiful, successful, peaceful Muslims, American, murdered in North Carolina in the United States of America. Greg Stephen Hikes, the suspect person, has been charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder, allegedly posted anti-religious statements on Facebook page and described himself as anti-atheist. He himself an atheist. What did he say in his post? Praying is pointless, useless, narcissistic, arrogant, and lazy, just like the imaginary God you pray to. That's him. Supporter of Atheists for Equality and Freedom from Religion Foundation. That's what he believes in. Many social media photos consist of images with text mocking religion and supporting atheism. That's the suspect person. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. We belong to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and to Him we will return, no doubt. But not to be killed in black hole this way, in a matter of execution style, from a neighboring one to them, claiming that it is a parking dispute. Parking dispute. If a parking dispute would lead to killing, how about some other major issues and problems and conflicts among people in one community? And if a parking dispute would lead to murdering 3 innocent people, could be a money or wealth or business dispute to lead to the Third World War. Could be. Allah has never known. Or being suspect of something in one nation or one country would lead to the destruction of the whole country and killing millions and millions of innocent. I think this is the law now. Or watching the American sniper depicted on Islam and Muslims would encourage people to go and kill innocent Muslims, claiming that the freedom of speech, the freedom of media, the freedom of whatever. It's a Hollywood freedom. Movies to depict on Islam by that American sniper was in Iraq, and how many people he killed in a cold blood as well. Allah knows. Well, he ended up being killed by one of his best friends. SubhanAllah. How do we take this? How we view it from the Islamic point of view, and as Muslims living in this land, living in this country, part of the fabric of the community and society. How we take it? Is it again the Islamophobia, this trade, the hatred against Muslims and Islam and so on and so forth? We have seen what happened in Paris, in France. The cause was depicted on Prophet Muhammad ﷺ in that very nasty, ugly cartoon. Yes, some Muslims get, subhanAllah, crazy about what happened. They call them terrorists, and it is an act of terrorism. And they killed some people who were involved in such a cartoon and media obligation, and so on and so forth. And the whole world defining that what happened is an act of terrorism coming from Muslim guys against those innocent people, peaceful people, till the point it led to a march of 3 million presidents and kings and emirs and you name them, in order to be rallying against what happened there in France, in Paris. But I would be wondering, how many people here in this country were demonstrating against that murder of those 3 people? Only Muslims. Only Muslims. That they feel the heat, how dangerous it is, how unsafe it is, how unpeaceful it is. How can I myself, a father or a mother, to be safe and secure with my children, thinking that we are safe and secure here? If you do not bring the suspect and try them in a fair trial, find out the cause behind it. If it is just a park issue dispute, not go beyond that from the Islamophobia and hatred to Muslims. Is it because Roseanne and her sister are wearing that hijab scarf? How our dear sister would feel about it? I could be murdered. I could be shut down. I could be killed just because of my appearance. Because of my appearance. Subhanallah ya Rabbil Alameen. Keep in mind those wonderful 3 people, Muslims. Riyadh, Yusr and Rozan. 3 individuals embodied Islamic concepts of charity and were driven by Islamic teachings, being good neighbor, citizen, being in the service of humanity. If I am willing to go and help for just humanitarian cause, my reward would be murder? Subhanallah. What concept, what value we're trying to teach people around us in here? Quran, the revelation, and the Sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his tradition, his biography, is teaching us something very unique, very special, where we must be facing hatred with compassion, mercy to the world. That's how Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was saying. وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. We have sent you as a messenger, as a prophet, but to be a mercy for the whole world. لِلْعَالَمِينَ, mercy. Spread hatred? No. Compassion. Mercy. Tolerance. That's the way Islam has been teaching us. We have to emphasize that we need to show in our actions and values we stand for and speaking against all forms of injustice and oppression. That's we Muslims. That's what we believe in. Stand against injustice and oppression. لا مكان لغير العدل ولا مكان للظلم. إني حرمت الظلم على نفسي فلا تظالموا. The hadith Qudsi of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Oppression, suppression has been absolutely forbidden. Don't oppress each other or suppress each other or suppress another. No, this is not the teaching of Islam. We should put it in our action, we should emphasize it, we should share it with people, speak against all those forms of injustice and oppression. We should remind each other that early Muslims in Arabia, in Mecca, along with Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, have suffered many kinds of oppression, suppression, and injustice. And we're not much better than them. I wish we could be like them. But they were patient enough, tolerant enough, standing against oppression and injustice. You know what this tragedy did for us Muslims here in this country? In particular, and worldwide in general, that tragedy has brought us together in unprecedented unity, solidarity. This is the effect of our faith in action. With hardships, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings to us ease. That's why no wonder all masajid, all Islamic centers, all over North America, and I wish I'm not mistaken, all over the world, has been talking about what happened and the teaching of Islam against what happened. And the teaching of the Quran and the teaching of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. It does really bring us much closer. And it does really emphasize the solidarity. It does really teach us that when we believe in that trial, that test of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, once in a while, when it happened to us, we should be aware of, and we should teach ourselves and enhance our education in that matter, and believing in what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us. وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ. Definitely, certainly, without any doubt, we shall test you. وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ مِّنَ الْخَوْفِ وَالْجُوعِ وَنَقْصٍ مِّنَ الْأَمْوَالِ وَالْأَنفُسِ وَالثَّمَرَاتِ وَبَشِّرِ الصَّابِرِينَ. And certainly we shall test you with something of fear. We have that fear today, and yesterday, and the day before. And we may have it forever. We'll be tested in hunger, loss of wealth, and lives, and fruits. But what would be the reward? If we are truly, certainly able to pass this test, هذا الاختبار وهذا الابتلاء. Give glad tidings to the patient people. الصابرين. وبشر الصابرين. وبشر الصابرين. This is a quality of Muslims you do not find somewhere else or some other people, as Quran has been instructing us. Be patient. And the Quran is defining for us those who are patient and what they should be doing and who they are. What are their qualifications? الذين إذا أصابتهم مصيبة قالوا إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. Those الصابرين who then afflicted with calamity say, truly to Allah we belong and truly to Him we shall return. Believing in this. We're not living here an eternal life. No. We'll go back to Him. Whatever the kind of death is, murdering, natural death, accident, war, terrorizing, it doesn't matter. It is by the end. The final is death. What else, Ya Allah, you said about those sabirin, those patients? أولئك عليهم صلوات من ربهم ورحمة وأولئك هم المهتدون. They are those in whom are the salawat, who are blessed and will be forgiven from their Lord, and they are those who receive His mercy, and it is they who are the guided ones. Allah. These are the qualifications of the sabirin. You would love to be among them? Be. And this is the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Mourning those three victims, it is okay. Be sad, it is okay. Be mad, it is okay. Be in huge grief, it is okay. But most importantly, as-sabr. Be patient. And you will see the reward of Allah. Allah. That crime will never pass by just like this. No. If it is not dealt with by justice, by fairness, it will be dealt with by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we see, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala extend our life to see His signs in this universe. In this universe. To see the future of those who are murdering and killing and terrorizing Muslims everywhere. We'll see. But just be patient. Be patient. Just be patient. كل نفس ذائقة الموت وإنما توفون أجوركم يوم القيامة. Everyone shall taste death, and only on the day of resurrection shall you be paid your wages in full. And the ayat goes, لَتُبْلَوُنَّ فِي أَمْوَالِكُمْ وَأَنفُسِكُمْ. Definitely, without any doubt, you shall certainly be tried in test in your wealth and your properties and in your personal selves. We have been and we will be tested in our wealth and in our lives as well. But look at the rest of the ayah, subhanallah. وَلَا تَسْمَعُنَّ مِنَ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ وَمِنَ الَّذِينَ أَشْرَكُوا أَذًى كَثِيرًا وَإِنْ تَصْبِرُوا وَتَتَّقُوا فَإِنَّ ذَلِكَ مِنْ عَزْمِ الْأُمُورِ. You're explaining to us exactly what we have been going through. 1400 years ago, the revelation, the wahi from Allah to Muhammad is telling us the following here. You shall certainly hear much that will grieve you from those who receive the scriptures before you, referring to the Jews and Christians, and from those who ascribe partners to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wallahi, this is what we have been seeing. وَلَا تَسْمَعُنَّ. You will see, you will watch, you will experience that adha, some harm. From those who came before us, the people of the book. وَمِنَ الَّذِينَ أَشْرَكُوا. Those who are taking partners with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If he declared himself, that guy, as an atheist, is he a Christian? Is he a Jew? He's an atheist. Godless. Don't believe in Allah. Taking partners with him. Whatever he believes in. What do you expect from him? A justice would discipline such people. And laws of the land, and laws of the country would bring them to their mind, if they do have mind. But lately, wallahi, I will remind you, the diagnosis will come out as he had some mental health issues and we cannot hold him accountable for what he did. Just wait. Just wait and you'll see. This has been always the excuse. Okay? You will see. You will see. I'm not predicting the future. I don't have any insight for the future, but this is what we have seen. But look at the rest of the ayah, subhanallah. وَإِن تَصْبِرُوا وَتَتَّقُوا فَإِنَّ ذَلِكَ مِنْ عَزْمِ الْأُمُورِ. But if you preserve patiently and become al-muttaqun, the pious, then verily that you will be determining factor in all affairs. And that is from the great matters which you must hold on with all your efforts. وَإِن تَصْبِرُوا وَتَتَّقُوا فَإِنَّ ذَلِكَ مِنْ عَزْمِ الْأُمُورِ. اصبروا واتقوا Allah. You will see what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't seek revenge. La wallahi. Don't be violent. No wallahi. Don't be intolerant. La wallahi. Be patient. Be tolerant. Wait for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to take care of what is happening. If we decide to take care of what's happening, we're nothing. Won't do nothing. Let him, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to take care of his own affairs. With those oppressors, with those unjust, with those people who are killing us Muslims right and left in thousands everywhere. Everywhere. Why we cry about those 3 victims here? Why not we're talking about the victims in Lebanon, in Palestine, in Syria, in Iraq, in Afghanistan, in Yemen, in Egypt, in Libya, everywhere in Africa, in Somalia. We forget about them and just remember those 3 murders. Millions of Muslims, subhanallah. Millions of Muslims. But those 3 wonderful ones, reminded us of what is happening to us Muslims. It is time to wake up. But mainly be patient and be heavily dependent on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to take care of those who are murdering us, killing us in cold blood everywhere. Allah will take care of them. Wallahi, wallahi, wallahi. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Just wait, be patient. Just wait, be patient. لازلنا في رحاب المصطفى. البر لا يبلى والذنب لا ينسى والديان لا يموت كل من آدم خطاء وخير الخطائين التوابون والتائب من الذنب كمن لا ذنب له ادعوا الله وأنتم موقنون بالإجابة. الحمد لله وكفى سلام على عباده الذين اصطفى الحمد لله وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأصلي وأسلم على رسول الله صلاة وتسليما يليقان بالحبيب المصطفى النبي المجتبى صلوات ربي وسلامه عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وتابعيه وتابعي تابعيه إلى يوم الدين. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shower them, all of them with His mercy and forgiveness and grant them paradise in Firdaus al-A'la مع الصديقين والنبيين والشهداء والصالحين وحسن أولئك رفيقا. اللهم آمين. Let me tell you the good news. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Muslim scholars, leaders, activists are together in solidarity, and this is the time to unite, to face the difficulties we must face together as a community. This is the time to be together. Alhamdulillah, social media has been working really well. And I'm sure all of you have been following what is happening, subhanAllah, everywhere. Muslim Student Association chapters everywhere. They have their activities and their standing against and being together. Because here we're talking about three wonderful people, ages between 19 and 22. Stay vigilant, seeking to strengthen our faith against the goal of Islamophobia to instill fear and intimidation. One of the main purposes, keep in mind, by that murder, to implant fear in us and to intimidate us. And this is, by the way, one of the strongest strategies the enemies of Islam have been utilizing throughout the history of mankind. Implant fear in their hearts, in their minds, in their soul. And if they live in fear and grief all the time, it means they are psychologically, emotionally, mentally invaded, easily to break them, easily to take advantage of them, easily to manipulate them. Don't let that fear there. Never let it. Be strong by Allah, by the teaching of Allah, by the teaching of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, by Islam. Everywhere, no matter what, I am a Muslim. I am a Muslim. I believe in Allah. I believe in Muhammad Rasulullah. No matter what. No matter what. Don't be afraid of anything. يعني الرب واحد والعمر واحد. Allah is one and my life is one. Die today or next week or next month or next year, it does not matter. It does not matter, Allah. Maybe I would be there in a much better place for me, inshallah, all of us, inshallah. You would like to leave a legacy behind you Muslims in your community? Let me repeat it again. You would like to leave a legacy behind you as a Muslim in this land? The best thing is to keep giving, Keep volunteering by participating in a very humanitarian cause, no matter what those people are. Keep giving. Keep participating. School, help. Help your classmates. In your business, be diligent to your customers around you. Anywhere you are, show the best image of Islam. Put your faith in action. Don't seek revenge. Keep your trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The best way. The best way. The best way to deal with those things around us. We have to cope with Islamophobia, xenophobia, bigotry, and racism. If you read the Star Tribune today, with the FBI director saying that the police in general in this country, when they look at a person, that's what he said, Allah. That's not what I'm saying. You check the newspaper. You look at the person's race, and then you act accordingly. One like me, brown and heavy accent and stuff, deal with him differently. Darker than me, deal with him or her differently. Wearing her hijab and scarf, that's a different story. Okay? This is what they said. They admit it. They know what they are doing. Subhanallah Rabbil Alameen. Subhanallah Rabbil Alameen. While Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam never discriminate against even non-Muslims. Christians who were very welcome to live within the Muslim state and Islamic state. Jews, the same thing. Atheists, the same thing. Buddhists, the same thing. Hindus, the same thing. Godless, the same thing. You live there and we'll protect you. You have a room with us. Well, subhanallah Rabbil Alameen. Different story in here. Our youth, the future of Islam. I have a message for you. Especially our sisters who are visibly seen wearing their hijab, to be cautious when out late or alone, but not give in to paranoia or excessive fear. Be careful. Be extra careful. Don't be alone. Be together. After school activities, go together. When you're done, leave together. Having some sports and activities, be together. Help each other, support each other. Don't leave your sister alone to walk by herself now. Be with her. Be with them. Be with them. Never let fear lead your life. Be the master of fear and defeat it. This is the way it should. This is the way it should. Because I remember after 9/11, we lived in fear, huge fear. Even some sisters took their hijab off. I don't blame them or why. I don't. The fear was humongous. But keep in mind, Wallahu ghalibun ala amri. Wallahu ghalibun ala amri. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would give the victory for those who believe in Him. For those against Him will be definitely, certainly, without any doubt, defeated. Media. I was waiting for Star and Tribune. I prescribed it to say something about what happened, talking about locally here. Till this happened on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, today is Friday. Finally, Star and Tribune put an article. Just today. Thank you. Better than nothing. Because we know the media does have that double standard. When it is Muslims against whoever terrorists, But when someone against Muslim, no. Father of Islam Muslims calls for hate crime inquiry. And that's why the Muslim community all over, especially as if we're talking today in the front of the White House, addressing Mr. President Barack Obama, saying that take care of this. This is the Islamophobic things. Hate crime, it should be dealt with as such. Thank you, Sir. Thank you. Much better than nothing. Give me a good report today. I'd like to read it. لا زلنا في رحاب المصطفى، البر لا يبلى والذنب لا ينسى والديان لا يموت، كل ابن آدم خطاء وخير الخطائين التوابون والتائب من الذنب كمن لا ذنب له، ادعوا الله وأنتم موقنون بالإجابة. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم، وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات إنك سميع قريب مجيب الدعوات يا رب العالمين. اللهم انصر الإسلام والمسلمين، اللهم انصر الإسلام والمسلمين، اللهم انصرنا على عدوك وعدونا يا رب العالمين. اللهم انصر من نصر أمة محمد واجعلنا منهم، واخذل من خذل أمة محمد ولا تجعلنا منهم. اللهم ول أمورنا خيارنا ولا تول أمورنا شرارنا. اللهم ارحم موتانا، اللهم ارحم موتانا، اللهم ارحم موتانا، اللهم ارحم موتانا، وفك أسرانا وفك أسرانا، واشف مرضانا ومرضى المسلمين يا رب العالمين. اللهم برحمتك عمنا واكفنا شر ما أهمنا، وعلى الإيمان الكامل والكتاب والسنة توفنا وأنت راض عنا. اغفر اللهم لنا ولإخواننا في الله تعالى أحياءهم وأمواتهم ولكل المسلمين أجمعين. إلهي هذا حالنا لا يخفى عليك، وهذا ضعفنا ظاهر بين يديك، فعاملنا بالإحسان إذ الفضل منك وإليك، واختم لنا بخاتمة السعادة أجمعين. عباد الله، إن الله يأمركم بثلاث وينهاكم عن ثلاث. إن الله يأمركم بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. اذكروا الله العظيم يذكركم، فاشكروه يزدكم. قوموا إلى صلاتكم يرحمكم الله واستودعكم الله.
الله أكبر الله أكبر، أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن